In this video, we're going to go over how to create an assembly, so how to put all of your parts or pieces together. So I'm in Inventor, I'm going to go New, and I want this standard assembly. So I'll double click on that. Now the standard assembly looks like the one blue cube and two yellow cubes. So once I open this up, there's nothing in here because we haven't told it what we want to assemble. So I'm going to go into the upper left where it says Place Component, click on that, and I'm going to select the first one, and if you have all of them drawn already, then you can hold down the Shift key and actually click the bottom one, and then you get all of them in there. Now when it comes in, you will have a dark set or a solid set, and those are the ones that are currently in the assembly. The clear ones, or the translucent ones, are additional copies if we wanted more. If you hit escape, then it gets rid of those. So now I've got my parts. From that view, they looked like they were all attached, but I can see in here that they are not. Now if you look over in this left side, you've got I have my puzzle cube part 5 has a little push pin on it. That means that that one is not going to move. It's going to stay stationary. So we want to see if we can hook all of our pieces to that piece. So we're going to do some assemblies right now. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to constrain, and that's what actually gets things to hook together. You can rotate and move things, but I would try not to use the rotate button because sometimes it causes more problems than it helps. So I'm going to do constrain, and if I have my 3D one, my cube still in front of me, then I can look at this a little bit better. Now there are some more cubes up the front if you need to recreate your cube so that you can see what this is going to look like. When you open up constrain, then we've got our mate constrain, which has mate and flush. Now mate is two faces that are touching each other, and flush is one right next to another. So I'm going to show you a couple of those. So we're going to go our flush, or our mate first, and I'm going to say that I want the top of this one is supposed to hook into that one. So it actually automatically flipped it over. But if I look at it a little bit closer, it looks like that part is not lined up and they're kind of going a little bit crazy. They are not where they are supposed to be. So I'm going to hit apply because I do want to accept that mate. That mate was good. But I want to make some of these flush. So I'm going to click on this face and that face. And then if I rotate it a little bit more, I can see from the inside that those two don't hook together. So I'm going to hit apply, and then I'm going to do a final mate there. So you should have your parts and pieces hooking together the way that you want them to. Now sometimes you'll get an error that says that you've over-constrained a piece. Now if that happens, or if something really isn't working, the trick that I usually use is I'll usually come up here. Let's see, this is Puzzle Cube Part 1, and I can tell that if I go over it with my mouse, it highlights it over in this left side. And it lists all the mates that or constraints that I've already done. If I right click and I delete one of those, it didn't move my piece at all, but it made it so that those are not existing anymore, and so you could move it. So you could try doing some more constraints or mates to see if you can get it to do what you want it to do. Ask your neighbors for help if you're having problems with that actually like constraining together, and sometimes it's easier to remove that part, so delete the part and then bring the part back in. You're not actually deleting it, you're just deleting it from your assembly.